How's it going, guys? My name is Alex.
Good evening.
And welcome to a video where I'd like to talk about eFootball 27 and EAFC 27. We have the trailers, the gameplay, not necessarily the trailer for eFootball 27, but mostly like a version 6 update. So what do you expect from eFootball and EAFC next season? The answer is...
for example, nothing.
On one hand, pre-orders for EAFC that will be released on September 18th, early access, and then on the 25th it will be available to everyone. You gotta pay for it, you gotta pay as usual $70, the other edition costs $100, and the best edition will get some epic cards, some, I don't know, items in game. It's gonna be costing you $150. eFootball, on the other hand, is free, and obviously you don't expect much. You don't expect new menus, you don't expect free roam that EAFC is offering this year, and of course, I mean, it's just two different games, but gameplay wise, this is the problem. I don't understand, why do you still pay $100 for a nice skating game where like every player is moving like he's attached to the field with rubber bands, and they promised a lot in the trailer, and let's break it down first and foremost. So the benefits of having an account on eFootball is that you will never lose your players. They are carried over with you, and that is where you spend something on the pack like this, right? Living Legends, you get a Messi, you get a Ronaldo card. The Messi card is rated 111, which is nuts, and I think this is utter nonsense. It needs to go, but that's the Konami's economy, and in this economy I think the players will have even higher rating in eFootball 27. But once you have this Messi, he'll be usable for another 2-3 years, has 3 skills, 2 of them very useful, and the odds of you getting a player here in this pack are a little bit shifted towards your favor, because you get a 500 coin discount on this, and of course there's more players. I mean, it's still a pack where you can get rinsed, but still in the AFC, if you want to get a player with the FIFA points, you can spend an like eternal amount of like money, real money, and you'll get shafted, and you'll not get anyone. And then when it comes down to playing for division rivals, or like playing some events to get the like packs, right, and then try to get a legend this way, and it's obviously randomized, you can't really pick and choose. Yeah, it is a grindable thing, of course, and eFootball offers you to grind for showtimes in divisions, for instance, and that's how it will be next season too. So in eFootball, you can carry over the players, and if you're wondering what you can carry over, you can carry over your skill tokens, your nominating contracts if they're not expiring before, of course, and all of the players and all the managers and all the setups that you have created, they'll be there. So this team kinda still possible to play in next year in terms of like competitiveness, but of course the ratings, the overalls, and the additional skills and the stats and special skills that Konami is introducing, they'll be up in the game of your opponent. So you gotta just, if you want to compete, you want probably to invest, or at least save coins and invest with your saved coins wisely. What do you invest in eFootball 27? First and foremost, there's going to be a new manager with overload playstyle. Creates an overload on one side of the pitch, for instance on the right, and even your defenders pull up and you play short passes and attempting to like create this type of situation where your opponent is forced to use more players to defend. Then maybe there's a player on the other flank opening up and you can pass him, he is through on goal. The other thing that they're adding, of course, 2 link ups per manager. So this is how it works, like right, you gotta play a pass, diagonal pass from your Neymar card, for instance, who is playing left wing forward or right wing forward, to an opposing, it will makes more sense, opposing fullback. Once you have the possession with your winger, your fullback makes a better run, and then you can switch the play like that. Now in eFootball 27 you'll have 2 link ups and on a single manager, so I think saving coins for a manager is a good idea. Another thing that they're adding is some new cards, right? So we've seen the packs of Living Legends, they announced that Aguero joined, and big time cards of Mbappe, Haaland were released, Bellingham is going to be released soon as well. Maybe by the time you're watching this video they have been already released. So these are great cards. Konami wants to milk money because there's going to be ambassador packs as usual, so they want you to spend money right now and just be craving and like have that fear of missing out already before the football starts. And there is going to be also a change to formation. You can tinker with formation, so that you have one formation set for attack and another formation set to defense. So this is very similar to a sub tactic, but not necessarily a sub tactic per se, because this is a sub tactic when you have the possession and when you're out of possession. So for instance, this is how my sub that tactic looks like if I want to change, and this is how I use my main tactic. So we can change the playstyle, of course, with that, but not necessarily for attack and defense, because there's going to be same playstyle, and you play either attack or defense with like 5 at the back and then 3 at the back if you want to. Of course, custom tournaments, that's a nice thing to add, but that's not impressive. But like, do you expect anything else for a game that is free to play, right? It is free to play. It could be called pay to win, because inside the game there is a lot of things you can use microtransactions on for, and then you buy stuff inside the game, and that's how Konami makes the revenue. But AFC, they just dropped the price on their game, and their player base just tripled, I think, on Steam. But before, they had like 3 times more players than eFootball, and eFootball is definitely, and it's been recognized by many AFC players, and people have like a lot of subscribers who used to play AFC, they switched to eFootball and play it regularly now. They just realized that the eFootball's gameplay is superior. So if you play for the gameplay, I mean, this game is nice, and the fact that you can carry over your coins, carry over your players, carry over your skill tokens, everything except for maybe some items that just expire. So for instance, some packs, there are packs that have expiration date on them. Just go to packs and open them right now, because if they're expiring in certain days, on the 13th of August, that's when eFootball is going to be released. You probably will lose the chance to pack this player, so it's better if you open this right now, right? For instance, my Raul expires in 12 days from now, and my daily game box as well expires, so I may just as well open and get a kanji, because that's how we roll here. And yeah, that's the showtime animation. You'll love to see it. But yeah, this is just how the cookie crumbles in terms of eFootball. No new change for the design. Maybe there's like, we've seen the new daily game change, right? Daily game will not be penalties anymore. You'll need to score like 1v1s, or like you need to beat the defender and score 1v1. It's going to be like made in a futuristic way, so the banners will change, of course, just to match the new color scheme. The ambassadors are the same: Neymar, Messi, and Yamal, and maybe they'll add someone else. But the idea is that you're not expecting really a lot in terms of like visuals to change in eFootball, and it's been like that for 4 years, so we're used to that. And also in eFootball, they promised to make overhead kicks great again. So now you can score once the ball is in the air with a stunning shot. You can score an overhead kick. But with AFC, on the other hand, they just kind of listen to the community, and they say that, look, if you're not controlling the defender and the ball is going past him, is not going to be as OP in terms of intercepting, as opposed to like trying to reward people for manual defending, which is good, of course. But then they're talking about the movement of the attackers, right? If this movement is smarter, players aren't making darting runs. It's not like 15 players making forward runs at the same time in the box. It's more about smarter movement, curved movement. They talked about that too. And then, of course, when it comes down to maybe scoring, I don't know, different chances, right? It's going to be a little bit more realistic. They talk about this realism, talk about taking the feedback into consideration. And realistically, I look at the gameplay. I'm not playing that game, so I'm not the one to judge. But I don't understand what you're paying $70 for. I mean, probably just because the license is there, right? Because they have the Premier League license, something that Konami doesn't have. They have the Real Madrid license and La Liga license, and they have a lot of money to pay the FA and La Liga, of course, in order to they obtain these licenses. But when it comes down to actual gameplay, and the fact that you're playing, there's female players that are sometimes even more powerful than Pele, for instance, and cards of legends, former legends, which makes this game just even more it's just the most utter woke nonsense you can imagine. So I wasn't a fan of that. It's I believe if there is a mode where you can play with female players, just have it as a mode and let people play that if they want, of course. But I want to ruin realism in this game, and it's already ruined there. But some people may have an argument. You play with Pele, at the same time there is Marcus Rashford, and then you play 1-2 off each other, and there's Rashford scoring a goal, celebrating together with Pele. Where is realism? So the argument can go on and on. It wasn't really interesting to me. And there's the playstyles that they just mean more than the stats of the players. That's been a big concern of the players, and AFC kind of said that they will listen to that. But look, I listened to that feedback. I watched the trailer of the gameplay in the AFC. I just wasn't really impressed. I think that the gameplay was poor in general. It didn't really change. EA did a great game back in 2014, and even back then I didn't like the movement of the players, and I wasn't really actively playing any football games, but if I just occasionally, I was playing mostly FIFA back then with my friends, and we had just a banter, Some volunteers and people enthusiasts, FIFA enthusiasts, decided to revive and reverse engineer FIFA 12, FIFA 13, FIFA 14, 15, 17. Just goes to show how far and how low has EAFC fallen with the latest EAFC or FC games. But once I started doing the football and I realized that I play a much superior game, and now that the interest is there, I'm happy that I'm in the right place now. So in terms of buying the game, I just wouldn't recommend doing that, but that's because I'm biased. My entire channel is about the football. Yeah, I didn't see anything that should change my mind. Of course, this free room that they introduced and the 5-a-side event where you play outdoors, the ambience of that is kind of appealing to me. I like it, but how it's going to be implemented is going to be the same as Volta, that people didn't like or rush and people didn't really enjoy it that much. Yeah, I like the ambience of that, so I really wish eFootball did something like that. They tried Strike Arena, it failed, and I just want a authentic outdoor experience, and just something that I think this game is missing, a little bit more modes. But Konami is not promising that, so there's going to be no modes. They may just host another Connect event where they announce more details about the football, but it's going to be released on 13th of August, so there's only 2 weeks left, so I don't think anything happens. In terms of carryover, you carry over every manager, every player that you have, unless they already retired and you don't have a special card of that player, so you may lose a player. But Konami makes special announcements about that, so you shouldn't be worried. That's been the video. Let me know what you think about eFootball 27 and EAFC. Maybe I want to try the game too, and I'll see you next time. Peace.